Hi, welcome back to another episode of Budget Prepping. I'm your host, Dr. Matt. In today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about the psychology of what happens during a time of disaster. So consider you being away from home, you've got your bug out bag in your trunk, something happens and you got to get yourself home, but it's going to take you a day or two. Now, I live in the Pacific Northwest. It's a rainy day today. Yes, in the middle of June, raining. It's 55 whopping degrees. Oh my goodness, it's cold out. Yet, disasters are respecters of no one. They happen whenever and wherever. So things to consider. Now, I have this lovely item from a garage sale in my bag. This is actually a military grade poncho. And it is absolutely wonderful. It's got a little bit thicker material on it. It's got like some real Velcro on it. Absolutely amazing. And it's just unbelievably powerful. I've actually had to use it one time, not in a disaster setting, but I was helping somebody out and I was not prepared to change a tire in the middle of a monsoon wearing shorts and flip-flops. But I put this on and I got through it no problem. Now, I want to bring that up. Now, I talk about the psychology of it. Something as simple as a rain poncho will actually help you be able to withstand that miserable feeling that you have that could happen during a time of disaster. So if you're wet and you're soaked and you're cold and hypothermia starts to mess with your brain, this is one of those things where shelter really helps. So a good rain poncho will actually prevent you from having those issues, potentially to be able to get through that. And so another great tool, and this might seem a little weird for everybody there, this is a pocket Gideon Bible. Now, I know everybody watching this is not church people. We just happen to be church people. But I want to consider this. Yes, I keep it in a nice Ziploc baggie, a better than average one. But in a Gideon New Testament, there are places to look here. So if you, when failure comes, or you're doubting, or you're depressed, you're sad, all of those show you some comforting verses. So this is a book of comfort. Even if you're not a church person, it is very comfort giving, and it just guides you through that. And one of the things you can consider doing is, again, regardless if you're a church person or not, get one of these little babies, put it in a Ziploc bag and throw it in your bag and just have it on you in case something happens. Now, in here, if you're not familiar with how a little Bible goes, there are little verses here and there that are going to be pretty helpful, but this is a New Testament. So you have Matthew, Mark, and Luke, John are the first four books. They're telling the same story from four different perspectives. And then there's other letters between churches that make up the most of the rest of the book there. Some of it is not necessarily easy to read because you kind of have to keep in mind the whole context. But again, those verses in the front that are topical, again, right in the front, so, you know, like here, troubled, worried, are going to give you a couple of verses you can go look up there. And there's a table of contents to help you find those as well. And then from there, just being able to have that and use that as a comfort for somebody is really, really helpful. Because in those times of disasters, people get weird, man. If you look at disasters that are happening all over the globe, people really do psychologically struggle. I do remember at 9/11, during that time, people were literally, you know, whether they were in the dust cloud or not, they were literally just zombies walking in the street, completely stunned. And it was like shell shock, nobody home type stuff, and pretty hard on them to do that. So comforting words can be a great way to get through the psychological challenges of any type of disaster type setting. So again, please consider liking and subscribing here. And I would love to get your feedback on a comment. Open up the show more there to see what other links I have to be able to guide you to obtaining a lot of the products we talk about. It does help pay the bills, so thank you very much for going through there. But I want you to really deeply consider that sometimes you might be the one called upon to comfort somebody else, even though everybody's dealing with the same troubles. And again, you don't have to be a church person, but you can really be a help if you have a pocket New Testament. They're small, they're lightweight. Again, carried in your bag, they're great, and they can go from there. So anyway, thanks again. We'll see you next episode.